Hi, and welcome to the Cheapskates playthrough of Kingdom Death Monster Simulator, Episode 3. This will be Lantern Year 1 um, hunt phase and possibly showdown. I don't think the hunt will take very long. This is on version 0.1.182. Hopefully it'll let us in. I probably should check and make sure that the server connection is working before I do this. Forming the hunting party. Which actually, when we left it, oh, now I got a magenta targeting dot. Um, when we left it, I went ahead and cleaned up on the character sheets. So all the characters have been named and added to the settlement sheet for the stone cloud. So hopefully all of this will work and I don't have to add things on the fly like that anymore. Remember, our survival limit is 4. Innovations, we went with Symposium. Oops. Survivor of the Fittest is checked off. Okay. So the 4 characters that we're going to go on the hunt with will be Ezra, Alistair, Lucy, and a new character, Joe. This is replacing Zach. Remember, Zach can't go on hunts because he is currently did the understanding for the Lantern Horde. All the characters have a strength of 1 and an evasion of 1 because of the new life principle, survival of the fittest, that was chosen. And he has a survival of 1 because he was named. The other 3 characters have a survival of 1 because when they got back to the main settlement. Actually, they didn't spend theirs. So that's why they have it. I have not equipped the character grids yet. I just took everything off so that we can put it on, nor have I assigned miniatures. Where are my miniatures? Ah, I did flip over the hunt board. We'll fill this in once we get it set up. Gonna just assign each of them. So Lucy. So the miniature that used to be Zach is now going to be Joe. And this will be Alistair. And we'll put these back on this. So if you notice, this is the start. We'll go through how to set the board up. Okay, so each character is going to start off with a piece of cloth. I'm just going to put it in a corner. Doesn't really matter where it goes. And then I'm going to make Joe kind of like our main fighter with the axe. I'm going to give Zach our darts. He'll also get a founding stone as a melee weapon. Our girls will get the founding stones. And I'm going to give this one to Ezra. So we then update this. So Ezra gets 1 point of armor on her head, 1 in the waist. Lucy has 1 in the waist. One in the waist. And 1 in the waist. All right, nobody's used rerolls yet. Okay. So that would be the end of the settlement phase. They're departing. The only monster we could fight would be the white lion. So of course we're gonna hunt the white lion. If you look, this is how you set up the hunt board. So random encounter cards get put on these blank spaces. The E's are special uh, events that are tied to whatever monster you're fighting. So in this case, they'll be special from the white line. If we had a scythe or a sickle, we would put special ones down, but we don't need to worry about that. So 2 and 3, and the one right before the middle is going to be these white line ones, and we will shuffle them. I'm going to pick up the whole deck and bring it over. I'm going to draw a face down card. Draw a face down card. Draw a face down card right before. Okay, the white line will be encountered here. These just tell you to roll randomly for right now. Once you get other expansions in, there may be cards that are thrown in. So I need to shuffle it. Not that it really matters. Oh, they all say random event, so it's not a big deal that I drew that face up. Flip it. Oops. Pick it up. And it's just going to go here. If for somehow we get past overwhelming darkness because the monster runs away from me, we'll fill in the rest of it. If you look, there's 2 more afterwards, and the rest of them are just fill-ins. So we'll have white lion, random, lion, unless he moves. Okay. So Ezra's going to be the controller, we'll say. She moves up. We pick this up, flip it. Scratching grounds. Claw marks scar the ground. The survivors may choose to investigate. Each survivor that investigates gains 1 courage and rolls on the table. 1 to 3, you get your arm messed up. 9 to 10, you gain a lion claw white lion resource. If no one investigates, we roll on the crap table. All right, so I'm going to have everybody roll because there's only a 1 and 3, and I like to live dangerously because my luck sucks so bad. All right, so we're going to just start, and we'll go Ezra, Alistair, Joe, Lucy. So Ezra rolled a 7. So on a 7, I get nothing, but I do get 1 courage. Right, it is 1 courage, not 1 insanity. Yep. So first one was Ezra. Ezra gets 1 courage. It doesn't really matter until we get to this first one for bold. Okay, next would be Alistair. Alistair rolls a 9. So Alistair is going to get a claw. So 1 point of courage. I'm not going to pull the claws out. I'm just going to I'm just going to take one of these cards to represent that we have the claw. I'll just need to remember that that's a claw. If we don't go forward in the game, I'll replace them with actual claw cards. So 6 is nothing. So get 1 courage. Just going to give Lucy her courage, and then I'll roll the die. 1. All right, 1 is bad. So on a 1, shifting through the rubble, shifting stone crushes their hand. Survivors event damage to the arm location. So Lucy takes 1 point of damage to her arm as an event damage. The good thing about event damage is it doesn't knock you down, and you don't have to roll on the oh crap, I'm dead table. Okay. Oops. I'm gonna flip this one. This is this character here. While the survivors stalk the white line, the monster hunts something else. Move the white line 1 space away from the survivors on the hunt board in pursuit of its prey. The white line starts with ground fighting in play. Build its AI deck as normal. Well, shoot. So he moves 1 away. And pick him up. Oops. I don't actually pick him up just yet. Oh, he's actually here. He's here. All right, so flip this. This is just going to be the random. So I'm going to use the white as a 10 and the black as the 1s. So I rolled a 7. So we'll go to the table of contents. Hunt events. Hungry ground. Oh, this isn't good. The ground suddenly splits and a gaping stone mouth attempts to devour the event revealer whole. The event revealer rolls a d10. If another survivor has a whip, they throw a line. We don't have a whip. So roll a d10. On a 1, I'm dead. 2 through 5, my legs take damage. So everything's going to just kind of suck. Essentially, I need a 10. 6 to 9. We'll use the white die. A 5. I believe I take damage to my legs. So 5, you scramble, but your leg is caught in a terrible maul. Suffer 2 event damage to your legs. So this was Joe. I'm glad I gave Joe that axe. Apparently, people using Zach's model are not very good with their legs. So he would be knocked down if this was a regular showdown, but it doesn't matter. All right, pick up Lucy, drop Lucy here. I believe if it's a blank space, then it would be treated as a random event would be there. So let's roll the random. 23. 23, clean water. The survivors pass a forlorn fountain in the shape of a lion's face. A stream of crystal clear water flows from the mouth. Each survivor consumes the water, gaining 1 survival and 1 courage. Any number of survivors may douse their head in the water. 1 to 2, you get disorder. 3 to 5, your hair is wet. Congratulations. 6 to 8, you gain understanding. 10, it's cold. Set your insanity to 0. All right, I'm not actually going to roll because it doesn't really give me much. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gain the courage and the survival for each character. That has got to be the luckiest one I've ever seen. Since my limit is 4, I can gain it without any problem. It was survival and courage, wasn't it? Courage, yeah. Okay. I'm actually kind of shocked at how decent that one is. I don't think I've ever gotten that one. Usually I get the roll the die, we're going to see how many of your characters just die. Or, some strange bird rips through your body. If you're lucky, you're really lucky. Okay. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And then we catch up. So we now move on. The showdown starts. The one exception is he has ground fighting in play. So White Lion, AI cards. Oh, I gotta escape out of that. View deck. And I'm looking for the card ground fighting. Essentially, the good thing with ground fighting is he just sits here and waits for you to get close to him. And when he gets close to you, he like beats the crap out of you. So when a survival spends action in the zone of death before it resolves his action, monster performs a basic action with +2 speed and +1 damage, targeting that survivor. When the white lion is wounded, discard ground fighting. All right, so I'm going to take ground fighting. I'm just going to put it up here. I'll put it into the moods afterwards. So I'm going to set up showdown level 1, confirm. So what that does is flip that and this gets played. So if you remember on the white lion hunt I showed earlier, where we were looking at where he has to start and everything. He now has an AI that's made out of 7 basic, 3 advanced. We don't know which ones he has. So he may not have that mall card as one of the advanced cards. He has 8 toughness now instead of the 6. And then terrain deployment, there is 1 tall grass card and 2 random. So it went ahead and took care of setting all of that up. We have to start 6 spaces away, but it doesn't matter because the lion is going to do absolutely nothing until we trigger him. So until we wound the lion or we piss him off, he's not going to do anything. So we have to get in the zone of death and spend an action, then he'll activate, or we have to wound him to get him to discard this. So he actually has 11 cards in his AI deck instead of 10, so it's a little stronger than normal. So these are the terrain cards. So the white lion always has 2 tall grass. Survivors in this space of tall grass gain +2 evasion. A bug patch, roll a d10 to scavenge. If you have a scavenger kit, add 1. So if an insect with your face stares back at you, it scuttles away, suffer 3 brain damage. You catch nothing. The insects scatter, leaving their meal behind. Gain 1 random basic resource. Archive the train. Gain 1 random vermin resource. Archive the train. Debris, roll 1 to 10. 1, you're knocked down. 2 to 3, nothing. 4 to 6, you find something useful. 1 random basic. 7 to 9, get a bone blade. Archive it. 10, get the scrap sword and archive it. This gets set up adjacent to any board edge. Tall grass has to be at least 4 spaces away. You can move the stuff around. You don't have to use the setup, but the AI deck has already been set up, so I'm not going to mess with it. But let us 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put it here, just so we can kind of go back and forth between it. The insects are always close to him. We have to be 6 spaces away, though it doesn't really matter. I'm going to put Lucy. Oh, no, I have to be 6 spaces away. I do have to still. So 1, 1, 1, 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm just going to leave these where they're at because I'll be able to move the around a little bit to kind of decide how we're going to do things because he has ground fighting. He's going to sit there and do nothing. So Lucy is going to go first, we'll say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next to the resource. Do I have to be next to it or on it? I think I have to be on it. Yeah. So I'll get there next turn. We're just kind of setting things up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Still doesn't do anything. Next turn, Lucy gets over to the debris, spends her action. So we'll roll the action die. just gonna use the white one. 4, which I think is like a crap one. You find useful remains, gain a random basic resource, archive this. So let's go ahead and basic resource. Pull it out of the deck, stick it down. Shuffle. Draw face up. Love juice. Okay. Don't think I've ever gotten love juice this many times. Archive that. Okay, next would be Joe's gonna move up here. I'm just gonna place the characters now because it doesn't matter anymore. Joe is the one with the, no, Zach is the one with the darts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. I essentially wait through everything until it is only a brand new turn. Nobody's done any movement or anything. Zach is going to start off by throwing darts with his action. He needs 7s to hit. He got a 9, so we draw the hunting location. Straining neck. Okay. I get to add 1 to it, I think. 6 if it's, no, bone darts you add 3. So it's 9, and then he has 1 strength, so it's a 10. The monster only has the equivalent of 8 toughness. So we draw a face down card. Put this in the wound stack. Build AI deck normally, so this just gets discarded because he's gotten wounded. This gets picked up and put away. All right, so now it is, the lion is no longer considered to be in ground fighting. So we're gonna have Joe move up 2 and smack from the rear. From the rear with the axe, I need 6s to hit, plus 1 accuracy, so I need 5s to hit. I got an 8 and a 4. Dang it. Okay, so we'll draw 1 card. There is no reflex on this. Soft belly, debilitating hit to the soft belly. I need 8s to hit, or sorry, 8s to damage, but I have 3 from the axe and 1 here, so I need a 4 or better to wound him. I got a 9, so I did wound him, but I didn't critically wound him, so none of the specials apply. Oh, dang it. I won't actually look at it. I forgot. There is no card to draw, or no shortcut to draw it face down. Okay, so Joe went. He did his little special move there. Lucy's just going to come across, and she will smack it. She's using the Founding Stone. So I got 2. I'm going to hit on 6s because she gets the plus 1 accuracy. I got a 9, so I hit 1 time. Beast Maul. If there's a failure, there's an event. Otherwise, there is not. So we will roll and see what happens. I got a 10, so I critically wound Critical wound cancels the reactions. The blow destroys the white lion's jaw. Persistent injury, no jaw, affects some AI card. Roll a d10 on a 5 plus. It flies off its face. The attacker gains a courage and a survival. All right. I'm going to roll the red die for this one because this is the lion's death thing. Nothing happened. Darn it. Okay. So we'll put this over here as a permanent wound. And here, draw face down and put. And now it is Ezra's turn. Ezra will just come up here and attack with the Founding Stone. She needs 7s because she is not attacking from the rear. I got a 1 and a 1. So I had Whiff-O-Rama. Now, the White Lion, Combo Claw. Closest threat facing in range. There is no facing in range. Closest threat in field of view. So field of view is, well, closest, it's got to be Ezra. Oops. Since this kind of moves around, I'm going to say, oh, Ezra should actually have 2 because she was the first one. That did not get saved. All right, so she had 1 insanity because she was the first one to get hit with it. Now she has 2. Actually, because of my bad paperwork keeping, I think she has 2, but we'll put it back to 1. When I set up all of these, I had to destroy my old character sheets and pull them out of the box to get it to set up correctly for me. So that's why I ended up like that. I lost all those. All right, so this is accuracy 4. It'll do 1 damage. If this attack deals damage more than once, draw another AI card. Lost hand. If you had the actual lost hand, he would stare sadly at his stump and we get 1 understanding once per lifetime. So in this case, Ezra has 1 evasion, so he needs 5s to hit Ezra. So the 4 misses, but the 7 hits, and I don't want to take the damage because I don't want another AI card to get drawn and keep chaining this. So Ezra's going to spend a survival to dodge it. All right, so Ezra spent the survival to dodge, and that ends the monster's turn. So now Alistair is going to throw, actually, we'll start off with Ezra. Ezra's going to attack first, and then I'm going to move Ezra onto the grass. Okay, so Ezra will attack with the Founding Stone. She needs 7s to hit because she's not in the back. She got a 7 and a 6, so she hits once. Glorious main. All right, we're just rolling to see if I get a main. I did not. Darn it. 9 is close, but not enough. And then for movement, she'll just move over. Remember, you can action first or move first. It doesn't matter. And you don't actually have to do it if you don't want to. You don't have to like move or take an action. All right, Lucy is going to run over here to the back and hit. So Lucy needs 6s because she's in the rear with the Founding Stone. A 1 and a 5. She whiffs. Joe's like, well, I'll do it. Oops. So as Joe goes with the axe. The axe needs a 6, but I need 5s because I have +1 accuracy for the rear. I whiff. Alistair is going to throw the darts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's in range. He got an 8, so he did hit. Strange hand. If I fail to wound, there is a reaction, but we'll see. 6. 6, and then 7 for his strength, and then on the dart it's 3, so he had the equivalent of a 10 to wound. So he did wound. It gets drawn face down. I'm going to move over 1. All right. Lion's turn. Mood alert. When a survivor moves into the spaces within the zone of death, stop their movement, they gain the priority token. Target token, discard, alert, and perform a basic action. When the monster is knocked down, discard this. That's not bad because nobody's going to move. All right, Joe's going to attack first. Oh, dang it. Oh, hold on. This actually has moved over to here. Okay, Joe is going to attack. He needs 5s. 3 and a 2, so he whiffed. Lucy's going to attack with the Founding Stone. She got 1 hit. Beast's heal. There is no reaction on it. So roll to hit. I get, oh, I think I crit. I did crit. So the crit on this is you precisely attack ruins the monster's straining tendon. The monster is knocked down. Persistent injury, ruptured tendon. When he starts his movement, roll a d10. On a result of a 1, he is knocked down. So I need to move this here. Oops, did not mean to do that. But that makes a change in that this, when the monster is knocked down, discard this. So this goes to the discard pile. Now I need 3s to hit. Alistair and Lucy have not gone yet. All right, so he has been knocked down. I need to go ahead and draw the wound though. All right. So Lucy cannot directly attack because that's a diagonal, so she has to move first. This, sorry, Ezra. This is going to make Ezra the target. Ezra needs 3s to hit because currently the monster is knocked down. So I got a 6 and a 3, so I actually hit twice. And it doesn't matter because I just pulled the trap. All right, so if you look at the trap, the attack's caught in the white lion's ruse and is savagely mauled. Attacker is doomed. Doomed means you can't spend survival. Perform a basic action to targeting the attacker. Doomed, you may not spend survival until this card is resolved. Trap reminder rule set. Trap cancels all the attacker's hits and ends their attack. When a trap is drawn, a knockdown monster will stand. After the trap is performed, shuffle all hit locations, including the trap card. So his basic action is accuracy 2, 1 damage. It's actually 3 because he does. She still has 1 evasion. So this 2 here actually will miss. This 3, however, will hit, And please don't be the head. It's hands. Okay, so, I hope this is Ezra. Ezra was not the character that took damage to the hands. Okay, so we're all right. That's the lion is up. He's back up. All of this gets picked up, flipped, put back, and shuffle. Shuffle. All right. Actually, I'm going to shuffle 3 times, even though it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm physically shuffling. So Alistair still gets to do his attack, but he no longer hits on a 3. He hits on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He hits on 7s, I think. Yeah, he's going to hit on the 7, rolling 1 die. So he rolled a 3. So he misses. It's now the lion's turn. Unfortunately for Ezra. Oh, actually, this gets picked up and moved. Not that it matters for Alistair. Okay. Claw. Closest survivor with the most bleeding tokens. Oh, Bloody Claw. Closest survivor. Nobody has a bleeding token. So this gets played a little differently. If it was just closest survivor, it would be Ezra, but nobody has survival or bleeding tokens. So we are okay with that. And that means we go to sniff, so everyone will be a target next time. If you notice, this is another one of these lost hand ones. Okay, so now it's back to the regular character's turn. I'm going to go with Joe first. And Joe is going to attack from the rear. I got a 9 and a 5. Normally I would need a 6 to hit, but because I'm in the rear, the 5 hits. So we draw 2, and I get to decide which one to go first. So if I fail to wound, both of these will go off. Jumps back without turning around, move, swats back. I'm going to go with the fleshy gut first because that's less annoying to me if I fail it. All right, we got a 6. So a 6, and then I have 3, so I go to 9, and then I have 1 on my character stat itself, so it's a 10. So that's a wound. So draw face down. All right, so this one goes away. I don't take, it's not a failure, so I don't have to worry about that. I still have the failure for this, so he could end up knocking us around, which hopefully that won't happen. On the wound, I rolled an 8, so 8 plus 4 is 12. Obviously, I wound. So this goes away, and draw face down. Pick it up, flip it, shuffle once, shuffle twice, and shuffle 3. I'm going to do 3 shuffles from now on. Okay. Next, we'll have Lucy attack from the rear. I need 6s to hit. I got a pair of 7s, so I would have hit even if I wasn't in the rear. Okay, so neither of these have a reaction, so it doesn't matter what order I do it in. I'm going to do it in the beast femur. I forgot actually I needed to roll a d10 for that one. So we'll do the beast femur first. I got a crit. So on the femur crit, you bruise the white lion's femur, crippling its movement. So you gain the white lion gains -1 movement, and you get a random resource. So we will draw a card. Not sure how I get an organ out of its femur, but hey, I did. I'm not going to complain. And then we get a movement token. That's -1 movement. Okay, so the next one is going to be on the knee. He could get another -1. Not that I'll get another critical, but 3. Oh, did I take the damage? I didn't take the damage. I went right to the resources. All right, so draw face down. Okay. Ezra will attack with the founding stone directly. Pick it up. Pick it up. 4 and an 8. The 1/8 hits. Straining neck. So if I get a crit, great. If I don't, it's no big deal. I got a 1, so I didn't do diddly. Put that over. For the darts, I got a 5. That's a miss. All right, so it's the monster's turn. Before we do the monster's turn, oh, hold on. Before we do the monster's turn, this moves over to here. Then the next thing is the monster. I need to roll a d10. He may fall over. On a 1, he falls. No. Persistent injury required ruptured tendon. When the white lion starts its movement, roll a d10. On a result of a 1, the lion is knocked down. All right, so his AI. Alert. Well, we don't need to worry about it because he's not moving. He goes into an alert mode. So long as I don't move into his, or don't do any movement around that, I'm okay. So Joe is going to smack him from the butt with the axe. I got a 4, which is a 5, but I need a 6. So I didn't do squat. 2 founding stones in the back, 3 and a 5. 5 is no good. Ezra will attempt to do something from the back. Or from the front, sorry. I got a pair of 9s. So the person in the front who has no accuracy manages to hit. All right, we're going to do the groin first because it has no failure. Whereas if I hit the strange hand, he might start doing weird things. All right, to the groin, I got a 2, so I did nothing. And then strange hand, I got a 5. Unfortunately, a 5 goes to 6, 7. So I'm 1 short from wounding him. So failure. Instinctively strikes back. The white lion, oddly human hand, darts forward, perform a basic action on the monster, on the character. So he has 2. 1 evasion is on Ezra, so that 2 actually misses. So the 8 would be a hit. So we'll take 1 damage to the head. So Ezra takes 1 to the head. so she loses her armor point on her head. She doesn't lose the item, she just loses the armor point. When we come back, she'll get all that back. Okay. Only person left is Alistair, or sorry, not Alistair. It's yeah, it is Alistair with the darts. A 7. I got a 10. Actually, when a survivor moves into the space within the zone of death, stop their movement, and this goes off. Okay. So next turn, he will draw a card and behave like normal. Okay. And then what do we get? Beast flank. If I wound it, the action, I get the reaction. If I fail, nothing happens. All right. I got a 5. The dart is 3, so that goes to 8, and then 9 for him, so that actually is the wound. Draw face down and put in. Hopefully this is ground fighting. Okay. Everybody is targets this turn because he sniffed. No, he played this, so everything's back to normal. It would have been on that mood. Everyone was a target. Combo claw. Oh crap. So the problem here is he can chain this combo claw, because if this attack deals damage more than once, draw the AI. So he would just keep drawing the AI card. Which would keep doing this combo claw until somebody gets slaughtered, essentially. So, oh, sorry. Closest threat facing in range. That is our wonderful Ezra. So Ezra, 5 and a 9. Doesn't matter. Let's see. Gets 2 hits. Body and legs. I'm going to dodge the body hit, so I only take damage once. If that deals damage more than once, draw this. So I don't actually get too bad. Actually, sorry, I'm going to dodge the arm, and I'll take the body. I forgot she had arm damage already. Okay, and oops, survival is back to the big goose egg. All right. I don't want to get into a combo claw chain reaction. So Lucy is going to act now. She's going to throw her founding stone into him, which will do an automatic critical so long as it's not the trap. Or, well, if it's the main, I'll get a main, but what? Why is it saying pick up deck? All right. So this gets used as an automatic critical on the trap. So I just lost my founding stone for no reason. Nope, dang it, rotate around, turns around, smacks Lucy twice. 6 and a 9, so hits twice. Lucy takes, oh, hold on. Lucy takes damage to both to the body. So luckily Lucy has not taken any damage to her body, but she is now knocked down. Oh, whoa, whoa, that wasn't, I took Ezra's founding stone away. I'm sorry, hold on. I took the wrong founding stone off the character. So Lucy is knocked down. Okay. Ezra is going to use the axe. Or sorry, Joe is going to use the axe. I'm going to hit on 6s, rolling 2 dice. I have got to damage this guy. I hit 1 time. Oh. Hold on. This all gets picked up, flipped, put in, shuffle. Yeah, why is hitting G is not doing the auto shuffle? All right. Now I draw a face-up card. All right, if I get failure, it's gonna cause issues. Let's just put it that way. All right, I have 1 hit. I rolled a crit. Oh, it's dead. I'll explain why here in a little bit. So he's gonna get a -1 accuracy. So the reason he is dead is on the axe, once per attack, if you critically wound, cause 1 additional wound. This does not apply to impervious hit locations. So the crit is going to get rid of the combo, and then the basic action will get rid of from the extra wound. Which, unfortunately, I was going to have Ezra search this, but it's not going to happen now because I didn't get a chance. So let's go ahead and come over here to the white line. We now have victory. Shuffle this. Draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 4 regular resources. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully I'll get some more bones. Draw face up. 4. Okay. Don't forget, I have this random card over here. This was a placeholder for the event over here where I got a lion claw. So I'm going to go grab an extra lion claw out of the deck just to make it easier to see what's going on. And since I know this is going to be a lion claw, I'm just going to grab the lion claw. So this is all the resources we got from the hunt as in its entirety. I cannot search the bug patch because it's over as soon as that happened. Let's send that to the shelf just to get rid of it. Okay. At the end of this, aftermath, victory, level 1, everyone gets 1 hunt XP. We'll deal with the weapon proficiency if it comes up. Actually, it's not going to come up. But so Alistair has 2 hunt XP. Joe has 1. Two. And 2. Okay, so the reason it's not going to come up is we'll show you here. When we go to content to look at age for the characters that just aged, weapon proficiencies. Gain the benefits of the Hunt XP milestone that you have reached. A survivor may only gain each milestone benefit once in a lifetime. Weapon proficiency. You may now select a weapon type of the weapon proficiency of your for weapon proficiency. If you wound a monster, then the selected weapon type, you are now eligible to gain a proficiency level during the aftermath. And then each of them get to roll on this to see what comes. All right, so available types are axe, bow, club, dagger, fist and tooth, grand weapon, guitar, shield, spear, sword, and whip. So I get to choose which weapon I'm going to get. I don't actually get any proficiency check marks on it because I just learned the proficiency and I haven't wounded the lion with it. If I pick a weapon, say I took guitars and I don't have any guitars, I don't wound the monster with a guitar, I don't get any credit for it. So even though I would get the age, I wouldn't get the weapon proficiency. There is no weapon proficiency for darts. If you notice, it's axe, bow, club, dagger, fist, tooth, grand weapon, guitar, shield, spear, sword, and whip. So for Alistair, I am going to say he is going to go with fist and tooth. Dang it. Fist and tooth. Do I have to fist and I thought this was auto filling it out. I didn't realize it was just saying, oh yeah, this is what you're doing. Now, I do get to roll on this table, so I need to bring some dice over here. And I can get it evasion, strength, fighting art, accuracy, luck. The best thing, of course, is luck. So let's pick up 2 dice. We'll take them over here, and we'll just roll them over here. So I rolled a 16, 10, and 6. So 16 gets me plus one permanent accuracy. So Alistair now has plus 1 accuracy also. So he has plus 1 accuracy, plus 1 strength, plus 1 evasion. Pretty darn good. Okay. Next will be Lucy. Lucy's going to go with the axe. And she got a 13. That's funny that the 5 is wearing away on the die. All right, 13 gets you a random fighting art. So Lucy, I've decided is axe. And she gets a random fighting art, which I need to pick up. Fighting art. Put the deck down. Shuffle. 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 And draw 1 face up. So, Berserker. Once per showdown, you may spend your action to suffer bash and frenzy brain trauma. I can't spell. No wonder I couldn't figure it out. Berserker. There we go. So this gets recorded and archived. So we'll pick it up. I'm just gonna flip it, put it back in here, shuffle it once so that just in case our last character. Oh, what do I want the last one to learn? She's going to specialize in swords, and she got a 5. So 5 gives +1 strength. So her specialty will be sword, and her strength will go to 2. Again, nobody did any wounds, so it doesn't go up. Once you get to specialist, you get an ability. Once you get to master, you get an ability. And once you master, the ability goes to like everybody. It's kind of like, I think if you master, the specialty ability goes to all characters that are in the settlement. Okay. When we get to master, we'll read to make sure. So that is the end of the battle. So let's archive this, archive you, archive you. Fighting arts, I'm going to go ahead and archive it. Archive those. Archive, 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 archive. Just a little bit of cleanup. Flip it. Oh, was there something on that? Yep, there is. Pick up. Archive. Flip. Pick up. Notice my innovation deck is somehow stuck to the board, which is kind of cool. All right. So if we go back to the showdown, we set up our settlement. Done. Remember, we have these locations. Luckily, nobody died, so we get 4 innovations. Three and 4. When the survivors return, all their wounds are healed except for the permanent ones. Which luckily nobody got permanently wounded. That was a very easy fight for level 1. Just because I got a lot of attacks in the rear. The only thing that kind of went to crap was using the founding stone for critical to a trap that did nothing. It's like you critically hit the trap and you get nothing. All right, so all the gears will get cleaned up for departing. We'll follow this again. So, oops. Stop it. I'm not doing the butcher yet. Butcher's in like year 5. I think I got to draw a random event here shortly. Okay. So settlement phase. During the settlement phase, you're welcome back. Any return as survivors. All campaigns begin with the first story. We've already done that. We've set up the board. We have our wonderful returning survivors. Survivors return. When they return to settlement, injuries are healed. Each player erases all their light and heavy wounds, remove all tokens. Permanent injuries do not heal on their own. We get an endeavor for each person that returns. Now we have fill the next unfilled lantern year on the timeline to adjust the current lantern year. And we're going to draw the top card of the settlement event deck and performance rules. Place the card in the play area to remind you. So these suck. I think last time I had like a plague or something, and then I got acid storm. I just had like really bad luck. Okay, so first thing we do is fill this in. We're going to draw this event, and then we'll get endless screams. So head over. We have the settlement event. Shuffle it because I don't know if I actually shuffled it last time. Draw a face-up card. Weird dream. Oh, good. I didn't get the murderer, acid storm, plague combo. All right. If you're the only player, survival dreams about a giant man that controls their lives from the darkness. All departing players will gain 3 insanity. Okay, that's it. Otherwise, we have to do this weird thing where you tell a story, players decide on what's going on, and everything kind of goes crazy. So in this case, this is simple. Wow. Oh, is it departing survivors? Yeah, all departing survivors get 3 insanity. So this is probably the easiest event of them all. Oops. I need to archive you and archive you. Oh, and I need to archive you. Okay. Next, since we got that event, we do endless screams. All right, so fill the next unfilled lantern year on the timeline to advance the current year. Draw the top card of the settlement event. Perform its rules. Place the card in play. We did that. Settlement events may have new ways to spend endeavors and unique opportunities, craft and park lasting restrictions or bonuses, lingering effects, endeavors, crafting recipes, trigger timeline events. Trigger any story events listed on the current lantern year of the event. So this is going to be the screaming one. And this allows screaming antelopes to show up. Okay, so we'll go to contents. Screaming. Bold Bone Witch, crush endless screams. Endless streams. The settlement erupts into chaos, trying to comprehend the source of the terrible wail. Oh, sorry. I should read it at the top. Endless screams. A screaming pierces the silence around the settlement. As the noise fades, a chorus of horror rises up in answer. The settlement erupts into chaos, trying to comprehend the source of the terrible wails. You may now hunt the screaming antelope, add it to the quarry list of the settlement record sheet, nominate a single survivor to stand amidst the madness. They gain +1 courage and become the voice of reason, and then roll a d10 on the voice of reason. We'll make Alistair our voice of reason, so he will gain courage. Actually, I shouldn't have done that, but okay. Because his courage maxed out, he gets a special thing. But since I'm on this page, I'm going to roll the d10 first. I got a 6. I'm going to take both of these dice and move them back over to here. All right, so I got a 6 for this. The survivor realizes noise is most likely another strange creature that lives out in the darkness. After some effort, they manage to calm the settlement. The survivor gains +1 understanding. Returning survivors gain +1 insanity. So, Alistair will go up here and get this. And then everyone else gets 1. And you go to 2. Technically not insane because you need 3 to go be insane. Just well on our way. Okay. Go to contents, and we're looking for bold. All right. Bold. In a single moment, your perspective changes profoundly. Select the triumph corresponding to the current game phase. A survivor may only gain these benefits once per lifetime. Settlement phase. Triumph. In this fleeting existence, each moment shared creates meaning. The bonds forged between survivors give you hope. Gain the following ability and roll in the table below. Matchmaker. When you're a returning survivor once per year, you may spend an endeavor to get intimacy. Roll a d10 to see what we get. All right, so let's roll a d10 and then we'll see what happens. Of course, I moved the dice over like an idiot. 8. 8 will give us +1 permanent strength once per year. So I was a returning survivor. I can use an endeavor to get intimacy. And my strength now goes to 2. So that's pretty good for fist and tooth. So instead of needing an 8, I'll need a 6. And this is the only place I get a bonus on that is through these. All right. So Alistair went up. Now we'll go back to contents for the settlement phase. So we triggered our timeline event. If there were any other additional events, so sometimes when you pull one of the event cards, it may say in like 2 turns this happens, especially for things like the murderer, he like comes back and tries to kill again, or something like that could happen. If any survivors perished during the previous hunt, showdown, or during the preceding steps of the settlement phase, update the death count. Hasn't happened, so we're good. If a survivor dies later during the settlement phase, update the death count immediately. Check milestones. Milestone story events are conditional events that appear during the timeline. Check the settlement record sheet to see if any milestones have been reached. If you reach more than 1 milestone at this time, play them in any order. For each milestone, check off its box and trigger the corresponding story event. If a milestone is reached later in settlement, check the box off and trigger it immediately. All right, so if we go over here and we look at our settlement milestones, first child is born. Oops, I had this already. First death, I don't have a death yet. Population reaches 15. I'm at 13. Settlement has 5 innovations. I have 2. Population reaches 0. Game over. I have not reached 0 yet. Oh, but I just noticed I should have this checked, and this checked. And actually, the first time you fight the main, that should have gotten checked. I'll show that. So if you look, this is a innovation. This is an innovation. This is a principle. So I have 3, or 2 innovations and 1 principle. All right. Develop. During this step, players will decide as a group how to spend their settlement resources. Players can craft gear, endeavor, innovate, and build. Craft gear, do this. Endeavors, you can spend endeavors to get things. Whenever a rule on an innovation, settlement location, or settlement preceded by this, it indicates the listed ruled or affects cost an endeavor to use. To spend an endeavor, select the survivor, perform the endeavor, reduce it by that, and go. To innovate, select a survivor to spend an endeavor and the required resources. The lantern horde. Why do I keep saying horn? Follow the rules for the innovation. Detailed information about innovation is available later in this section. Build, we can build things. Um, Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff now, the building isn't quite as important because I might be missing things. Yeah, I don't like have all the resources for it yet. So the first thing I kind of want to do is I want to just go ahead and innovate since I can do it, but we'll need to figure out what we're going to spend to do that. Flip, just put that back there. All right. So I'll need to spend an organ, a hide, and a bone. I'm going to go ahead and spend the perfect bone because, well, it doesn't really matter. I'll probably regret it later in the game, but it's not that big a deal because I just starting out. A lot of those are used for like later resource uh, crafting things. There's I'm drawing a blank on the pattern cards or strains might require those specific things, so it's not that big a deal. All right, pick up the deck, pick up that one. We're taking all of these, flip them. Okay, fine, just gonna be that way. Archive it. Okay. So I do have 2 monster hides. Oh, I forgot. I also get the Catatarium for hunting the white line for the first time. So to make leather, you need ammonia. So until you get ammonia, this is worthless for the most part, because it requires leather for everything at the leather worker, obviously. The Catarium uses the cat specific resources. So, and then you can make both armor and weapons. So, like a lion claw and a hide is needed to make a Qatar. King Spear requires a claw and a great cat bone, which I don't have anymore. This cat eye circuit is really good item, and it requires the eye, so I'm going to probably make that. The armor, if you notice, these all require white fur in the hides, which I don't have any white fur this time. Oh no, I have one. So I can look, I might make something out of this. I don't know. I can't make the spear. I do have the sinew, so I may make the bow. I don't know. We'll take a look at them and figure out what we're going to make. If you have the lion testes, you can make the frenzy drink. Good thing is I don't really need to spend an innovation to get intimacy because I have the love juice. Oh, also I have intimacy through the matchmaker, but the matchmaker one requires you to spend the endeavor, I believe. Okay, so I innovated. Let's shuffle this because I don't remember if I shuffled it after I added cards. So normally you get to draw 2. Having said that, because I have Symposium, draw an additional 2. So it makes it easier to see what we're getting into. Okay, this makes it interesting. So I can get Inner Lantern, which will allow me to do Surge. I can get Ammonia, which will give me 1 survival for every departing survivor. Plus, this will allow me to make leather. I can get Hobble, which it'll raise my survival limit and give me a departing survival. And I can get Drums. I'm going to get Ammonia. There's a way to get free ammonia in the game with the White Lion, but I'm going to take it because I've gotten burned by something that I needed ammonia to get over it. And it was just such a major pain in the butt that I did not have this until later. I really probably should take Inner Lantern though. Okay. So we will flip this, pick up the deck, and put it in the innovation. Now, since I have ammonia now, I need to get the science ammonia resource, ammonia consequences out and add to that deck. So that's over here. View the deck. I need everything that has ammonia on it. Enter science, but this is Lantern Oven, so I don't get that. Enter Lantern music, shrine, consequence, new life principles. So this is protect the young when rolling on the NMSC. You get to roll twice and pick the one you want. Pottery, it's a sculpture, so I don't have that. Don't have that. Partnership requires hovel. Pictograph, don't have. This one gets added. Doesn't get added. Doesn't get added. Drums, final fighting art doesn't get added. Doesn't get added. Paint, lantern oven. Doesn't get added. Doesn't get added. Bloodletting, ammonia. So if you notice with this one here, you can actually start curing disorders or warped pelvis or intestinal prolapse. Maybe this is what was messed me up. Bed is good off of hovel because it'll allow you to get broken things replaced. All right, so that is the 2 that I get added to the deck. I don't actually get the cards. So we'll put them here and shuffle the whole thing. I'll probably shuffle them again. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay. So now, unfortunately, because I did that, the leather worker is not quite as worthless as what it was. However, having said that, 3 hide and organ is kind of out of my realm. I still need stuff for like all my characters. I can, however, now make the whip, which the whip would have helped me when I was getting eaten by the mouth. So let's look at what we can build. gear-wise. Skinnery, Bonesmith, organ grinder, because I actually have a couple of them. I don't need to worry about the starting gear, except for the fact it's kind of collecting a whole bunch of my founding stones. Darn it, missed founding stone on the trap. All right, I'm going to bring the other location cards over. Not this one, but I'll bring these over. Just so we can kind of see what we need to build them. I can use the excess endeavors to build these stone noses, which are kind of good because they give you survival on arrival. I think they also give evasion. We'll check. I can also get the pickaxe and sickle now, but I really need to get gear for all my characters first. That needs to be my main objective. All right, I think what I might do is get a guitar. I could get 2 guitars and pair them. But if I do that, I'm not going to have enough equipment, and I can't make the bow. By equipment, I mean armor. I should have been more clear. Sorry. Okay, so let's look at the Caterium stuff. View deck. All right, so for the cat eyes, reveal the next 3 monster locations and put them in any order. So you can kind of shuffle through the deck and see where the trap is, if it's coming. Catgut bow, weapon range bow, 2-handed. Cumbersome range 6. Aim when you attack before rolling a hit. You may reduce the speed of the weapon by 1 to gain +2 accuracy for that. So instead of hitting on a 7, you would hit on a 5. It has a range of 6. Cumbersome means you can't move and attack. You have to use both of them, I believe. Clawhead arrow. This is like a one-time. Oh no, it's slow. I'll need to look what cumbersome is again. I'm drawing a blank. If you hit the monster, it gets an evasion token. So this is something good to hit it with at the beginning. But again, I would need more gear before trying to do this. Okay. Frenzy drink. Item, consumable, fragile, suffer the frenzy brain trauma. Can be used once per showdown. King Spear is good because it has the reach of 2. And it's kind of like the axe, but it doesn't take as much of the liabilities with it. So the Qatar, it's 273. It's deadly, so you get +1 luck, and you can have a second Qatar. So if you put both Qatars in your gear grid, then you would have, instead of a speed 2, you'd have a speed 4. So you get to roll 4 times. Line headdress, don't need to worry about. Harpo isn't really looking at making right now. If you notice, the armor that these guys give is 2 instead of 1, just because they require the white fur, so they require a specific fur instead of any. Because the rawhide, you can take that white fur and use it as a regular. All right. Oops. So, like I said, I think I'm going to make the cat eye necklace, which is going to take 1. What do I need for... So the lion headdress, you have to have the shimmering mane, so that's why I can't really make it. The whisker harp, you need the golden whiskers. But I can make the cat eye circlet. I used my perfect bone as a bone for the intimacy, or sorry, for innovation. So the lion claw, I'm going to make the cat eye circlet. I'm going to make a bow. And a guitar. So the guitar is made with these 2. The bow is made with these 2. And the circlet is made with this one. Keep in mind, this does not add any armor. Of course, it just counts as jewelry other, so it doesn't actually take the head. It's kind of like a wristband. I always kind of imagined it like the bandana for the Skinnery, the rawhide headband, but it's not a headband. All right, so I have 2 pieces of hide that I can use to make any type of armor. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the headband, the glove, or sorry, I already have a headband. I'm going to make gloves and a vest. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I'll complete the blue and the red with that combination. That'll give me +1 evasion. So we're going to get the headband and the gloves. And that just, dang it, just uses those up. So that leaves me with only the love juice left, which I'm going to use that for intimacy. And for that, I can go ahead and use the random table. So we're going to go to contents, intimacy, perform, male, Chad, and May. They're like generic people. Ooh, not good. So because I have survival, I have to select the 3, I believe. Yes, we'll use a lifetime reroll for April. Got a 4. All right, so we got a new character. So in this case, boo boo, flip it. We're going to add Anne to our population. Unfortunately, by default, Anne is going to be considered a female or a male, so I got to change that real quick. Anne got named, so it gets 1 survival. Anne gets 1 strength and 1 evasion because they're new, and I have the survival of the fittest. My population should now be 14. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This got messed up because I added Anne and then this did it as a male. So let me go back to May. I need May's sheet. The reason I need May's sheet is I need to, yeah, it didn't check off this, so I need to show that I've used her once in a lifetime. Either May or Chad could have done it. I'm going to use May. So Anne is going to be new. I shouldn't have added Anne as the new character. I should have just grabbed it and done it. So my population is messed up right now. I have the new survivor. I need to fix this. I'm going to spend the endeavor for intimacy based off of matchmaking. So we're going to do this again. Actually, I'm not going to do it from this table because if I do it from the table, it's going to stick it on the sheet again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab 2 dice. We're going to use Chad and April for the characters. I got a 4 and a 1. I'll re-roll the 1. Got a 9, so that goes back to +1 population because 1 is going to kill both characters. So Chad is going to use his re-roll. This new survivor is not going to be a new survivor. I'm going to update this. I'm going to make it female, but first of all, Chad has used his reroll on the intimacy table because he was involved in it. And then Stone Cloud, refresh, and I'll just leave that alone for right now. The new survivor this is going to be another female survivor just because we have issues with it. That'd be Iris. I'm thinking of Greek gods, Isis, but Egyptian gods, not Greek. Ooh, but I'll probably do a Egyptian god themed one of these days. So it's 1 strength, 1 evasion, not 10, 1. And then Stone Cloud, refresh. And then that should change the name over here to Iris. Yes, but I went to male because I left Iris as a male because I'm an idiot. Stone Cloud, refresh. Now Stone, that took care of it. Okay, so everything is to where it should be, except for I just had my population go to 15, I believe. Make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have 15, which 15 says, hey, your population now has a society. So I need to go, I did not need to get up. I need to go here now and we'll go to the contents because I need to flip to society. Principal society. All right. There was once a mad woman who spent her days talking to darkness. Once it spoke back, group must decide. Collective toil, tainted by darkness. Uh, Hold on. Collective, tainted by darkness, a survivor nearly brought ruin to the settlement on the day of her exile. The people decided that all must spend equal time hunting and working to avoid future disasters. -1 population, add Bone Witch to timeline 3 years from now. Settlement gains the society principle collective toil. Find and place the card on the settlement and then do this roll. The darkness spoke startling truths. It told the people they were monsters, and just like the ones they hunted, the people accepted their monstrosity and their place stalking in the darkness. The settlement gains society principle accept darkness. Find and place the settlement card on the settlement board, note it on the settlement record. After adding the card to the settlement, roll a d10. Nominate up to 4. They gain 10 insanity. Nominate a female. If you can't, nominate a male instead. They become the leader and get all this stuff. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we're triggering this. I'm going to look at the 2 cards first and we'll see which one to do. So we have collective toil and accept the darkness is the 2. Collective toil, your settlement leans into the storms. It holds strong. You will triumph at the start of the settlement phase. Gain 1 endeavor for every 10 population. Accept the darkness. The settlement no longer fears the darkness. Letting go means your resolve cannot be cracked. Add +2 to all brain trauma. We will accept the darkness, for we know we are bad. All right, so, oops, I need to make some adjustments here. Oh, yeah, I checked that. All right, so we have ammonia. Why do I have SSSSS? Don't know what that's for. Um, okay, so I think these actually count as, oops. So I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 innovations. Um, it's been almost 2 hours. I'm going to stop here and we will check. I'll check real quick to see in the online FAQ if the principles count as innovations for the settlement has 5 innovations and the Hooded Knight shows up, because that'll change how things behave. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.